scrub every inch, and reassemble it so your grill can look and perform its best. Visit their website, huskergrillcleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Ever stare at the Hog Wild menu and feel like you just can't make up your mind because it all looks so good? Well, when I want a little bit of everything, I get a little bit of everything on Hog Wild's Smokestack Sandwich. On a butter-toasted bun, we pile on our hickory smoked beef brisket and juicy hot links. The hard part is choosing between fresh curly fries, classic baked beans, or coleslaw on the side. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time for the finish line with Bree Marie and James Rolland. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Well, happy Sunday to you, race fans, and welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into the finish line. James Rolland here on location. Bree Marie is away on assignment, so I figured I'd bring a couple of the homies into the studio. We're joined tonight by Tommy Denton, promoter of the Beatrice Speedway and Jefferson County Speedway, and one of your hosts from the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, Mr. Cody Zeeb. Figured it, they say Saturdays are for the boys, but we're going to make it a little bit more Sunday night. So before we start getting into that, we'll start thanking a couple of our sponsors. Stern Company understands that your business needs to run like a well-oiled machine, and Stern Company has all of the products to do that. From propane to vehicle lubricants, Stern Company goes across the board, above and beyond, to help keep your machines running like a well-oiled machine. And Eagle Raceway, unfortunately, Mother Nature did not play nice, but every Saturday night you can head on out to the world's fastest 1/3 mile, 10 money-saving minutes east of Lincoln for all of your Saturday night fun. Now, yesterday started off a ton of fun. It was bright. The sun was shining. The winds were down. The temps weren't too high. It was a picture-perfect night for racing, right up until it wasn't. We went into a weather hold for lightning. I didn't even know that we did that in the state of Nebraska, but it turns out that we do. And I was walking around talking to the fans, and they're like, "What do you think we're going to do here? What's going to happen?" I mean, I'd felt maybe 4 sprinkles, and I'm like, "Oh, we got the Eagle Vortex. We're good. Nothing's going to happen." And then, yeah, it hit the proverbial fan real quick. So we unfortunately had to call it a night there. And, everybody had a great time at the Mud Bog in the parking lot. And now Sunday, here we are. Friday night, we got to race over at Beatrice Speedway, though. Tommy, what'd you think of the racing action Friday night?
It was good. I mean, I think we're coming around a little bit there. I mean, 102 cars, James. It was great.
I know that was
we had a great crowd. We had a crowd, 411 people. That's great for Beatrice. Hopefully, this is maybe the turnaround for it. We're going to start getting a little better.
I like the way you think there. And you know what? The track, it had a little bit more character than usual. And I really think that kind of helped amplify the racing. I'm not going to lie. I was ready to cuss you in hot laps when I saw dust in the first session.
Me too.
You know, it's kind of like Dan always told me, I haven't heard it straight from Joe's mouth, but if you have kind of a dumpy track in the heat races, it's going to be really good come feature time. And that's definitely what happened on Friday night. Let's see if I've got my results here. You probably have the memory of who picked up the wins on Friday night. Let's see. I'll quiz you. Compacts.
John Martinez.
Hobby stocks.
Dylan Richards.
King of the world right now. Sport mods. Caleb Woodard. A guy, I don't even know if you'd technically call him a rookie because he did have a couple of starts last year, but he's a kid that he ran the go-karts, ran down there at Jefferson County in the micros with you guys, and picked up his first ever sport mod feature win at Beatrice Speedway. He picked up a win earlier in the year at US 30. That was just a couple of shows ago. Stock cars, Kyle Vanover, he's working on his world domination tour. And Austin Swoboda picked up his first Beatrice Speedway win in a modified. I think he won Spring Nationals last year in a sport mod as well.
Yeah, because his trophy broke and I had to get it fixed before I gave it to him.
Was it one of the handmade clocks?
No.
It was a real
big trophy.
Yeah, that's right.
Trophy, yeah.
Yeah, that has always been something kind of legendary about Beatrice. I know my uncle, I think he finished 4th in the points there in like 2004 in the limited modifieds, and that's one of the biggest trophies in his collection.
We do try to get the good trophies for Spring Nationals, Oktoberfest. So,
well, your end of the year banquet trophies are usually pretty tall too. It's difficult to fit those across the back seat of a crew cab pickup.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the women for racing, they go all out on that banquet for Beatrice Speedway. If it wouldn't be for them, I don't know what would happen. Those guys just do awesome things for us.
Talk a little bit more about the women for racing. I mean, growing up around Beatrice Speedway, I learned a lot about them, but, people see them sometimes just walking through the gate as a stand where you can buy flags and pictures and stuff like that. But the women for racing, they've been going hard at it for decades, so much so that they're in the Nebraska Auto Racing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they got the Gordy Shuck Award a couple years ago. But they just do everything. They sell the 50-50 raffle at the track, always come up with a good group to give the other half to. They help with the tickets over at the pit shack, putting armbands on so you don't have to do it yourself. They just do everything. I mean, they have the car show at the beginning of the season, and they take care of the banquet at the end of the season. Like I said, they're amazing.
And it's kind of another one of those thankless jobs that kind of goes unnoticed, but the women for racing have absolutely been a staple around Beatrice Speedway for as long as I can remember. I think they were incepted in the mid 80s, and they have just been going full steam since then. Tell us a little bit about, you're also the promoter over at Jefferson County Speedway. How was your racing action last night? I know you got your 2025 season off to a good start.
Yes, we did. 93 micros last night in 5 divisions. Good crowd for Jefferson County Speedway, one of the best I've seen. And I don't know where they got the lights, because the beginning of the first feature, I looked up and unless they had their phones on and they were just waving their lights, it looked so awesome from the pits.
Back in my day, we did that with lighters.
Yeah, I remember that at concerts and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the pits were full, 93 cars, all micros, awesome racing. It was a good start to the season for Jefferson County Speedway.
And now that you've got your regular season off and running, you can start thinking about the big events coming up. Let's talk a little bit about the Midwest Midget Championship. I know you said Cody Brewer was in the house last night, kind of ironing things.
Cody was there last night, just kind of explaining it it's just going to be the non-wing and the Husac midgets for that show. And it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th of July. We're going to run half the micros non-wings on Thursday along with midget practice. And then on Friday, we'll run the other half of the micros along with the full show for the midgets. And then on Saturday, all of the features for the micros and the big show for the midgets, 10,000 to win.
And you're still having the shrimp boil pit party on Thursday.
Yes, the races are going to start at 6:00. We're hoping to be able to get it done by at least 8:30, and then they'll do the shrimp boil over at the campground just north of the racetrack.
I like the sound of that. I've been to the Midwest Midget Championship all but I think 1 or 2 years since those guys started coming around, but I have not done the shrimp boil yet. And I just have to do it. Just hearing about the people that you rub elbows with down there just over a plate of boiled shrimp and potatoes. It sounds good to me.
James, I mean, I sat down with Shannon McQueen one year and ate dinner with her. Jerry Coons Jr., very supportive of Jefferson County Speedway. And then you got them all. I mean, all the big names are there for that race, all of Keith Coons' cars and stuff. It's, you go over there and eat, and they'll just sit down with you and start talking with you. You know, it's just it's really good.
I think you've got a great event on your hands down there. I know you guys and Cody Brewer have all worked really hard to make that thing a success. And everybody that I know always looks forward to that coming up every July. We do have one more bit of racing news. Like I say, unfortunately, Eagle got the wash, but there was a racetrack resurgence last night in Red Cloud, Nebraska. The Speed Bowl is back, and it looked like they had a pretty good car count, 70 cars. They sold the place out first night back. I really hope that they can keep that up. I mean, you guys know just as well as I do that first event buzz sometimes tends to wear off, but it's great when you can see the momentum stay with the place and kind of help just keep it building. I hope the best for those guys. It's got to be difficult running unsanctioned stuff, but they did get their first show in. Mother Nature didn't head down there. She must have went to watch the races and just decided to wash us out. And actually, I'm convinced that it may be my fault that Eagle canceled, because at the beginning of the races on Friday night, I had encouraged the crowd to give Mother Nature a round of applause for not being a complete jerk. And she must have heard me. So last night over at the Speed Bowl, 4 divisions in your late models, Denton Duncan picked up the win. Sport Mods, Ryan Arbogast, a kind of a local guy to this area, got the win. The only other driver to pick up a win at the Central Arizona Speedway over the Winter Nationals with the Dylan Richards show, Dylan Thompson was the only other driver, and he's also a Nebraska driver. So that was really the Central Nebraska Speedway that time. But I digress. He picked up the win in the hobby stocks down there on Saturday night, and your stock car winner was Jeff Rare. I haven't talked to too many people that were down there last night, but the post that I've seen on Facebook just looked like everybody had a great time, and that's what the races are all about. So before we roll into break, let's talk to our other guest a little bit. Cody Zeeb, host of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Cody, I got linked up with you over some Chili's conversation on one of your shows before the Daytona 500. Found out you were a Lincolnite and kind of just became fast friends. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me on here. Been in racing since I was born, basically. My grandparents, huge race fans. We would make the tour every weekend. Started going out to Eagle Raceway about 2.5 years old. It'd be Eagle on Fridays. We go out to Adams County on Saturdays. Sunset back in the day on Sundays. Then, of course, that transitioned over to NRP. And, just grew up racing every weekend. It was part of who I was. And in the NASCAR, we would catch that on the radio on the way to the track or wherever in between making all the racing trips. But, fell in love with racing as a young kid. And then, with the gambling aspect of it and being able to have a little bit of action on it, get the sweat a little bit. I like that. And combining two things I love. And here we are with the NASCAR Gambling Podcast with my buddy Rod. And it's a great time.
How did you wind up on that show? Like, wow, did somebody just approach you and they're like, hey, you like NASCAR and gambling? You want to come host this show?
Yeah, basically. So Sports Gambling Podcast is a big podcast out there, and they've got an entire network, and we're part of that network. But they actually just had a Slack channel that I was in and conversing with other people, and there was a NASCAR channel in there. And so every week I would just kind of drop my plays in there, like, here's what I'm on this week, here's what I'm playing, so on and so forth. Then they were looking to expand into other sports and add more shows. And Rod Villagomez hit me up, and he's like, hey buddy, what do you think about this? And I was like, never been on a microphone before, never done anything like that. I was like, I don't know. He's like, let's do it. Give it a try. And I think now we're 620 some episodes into that show, along with some other shows we've done and all sorts of other stuff. I've been out at Eagle Raceway pit reporting a little bit with you last year, and I got some on the schedule this year. So very comfortable behind a microphone these days. But yeah, it's all shout out to Rod, my buddy. He just hit me up out of the blue like that. And here we are all these years later.
That's just another one of those online friendships, right? Because you've never actually met
No.
Rod face to face.
Yeah, we hang out 3 days a week on the show. We text all the time. We're great relationships. I feel like we're brothers, but he lives out in California, so never actually met him. We see each other face to face. We do the show on YouTube and everything, as well as on podcasts. But yeah, we've not yet met in person, but we're hoping to make plans with that soon to meet up at a racetrack and actually physically meet in person.
I think we need to do a fundraiser to get him a plane ticket, and he can just come hang out with us at Kansas Speedway in the fall.
Done. I think he would sign up for that right away.
We got a couple more minutes before we jump into our first break, and I know the race is just underway. I don't know how many laps they are in so far, but who are kind of some of your strong hitters for Nashville tonight?
Yeah, very, very big on Denny Hamlin tonight. When I came in, he was leading, so hopefully that's still the case. I haven't checked it out here lately, but he looked good. Very heavy on him. Ross Chastain as well, and then Eric Jones, kind of my sleeper guy this week. Took some longer shot bets on him. Get in the top 5 or top 10, maybe even creep up into the top 5. Real long shot to win the race. Probably not going to happen, but it's always fun to have those just in case you end up with 5 overtimes like Nashville last year.
Oh boy, we don't need that because 5 overtimes means another Joey Logano championship.
I know.
Apologies to the Logano fans, but I'm not one of them. So at work, we kind of do a little bit of a, I don't know, it's a pick'ems contest. My boss kind of cooked it up in her head. My boss, Rissa, the day guy, Jack, and myself, each week we make 2 picks, and whoever finishes the highest out of those picks gets however many points. Well, this last week, my boss was gone. So Friday afternoon, Jack and I are sitting there, and I'm like, hey, you want to make this interesting and do this competition just a little bit differently? Let's you and I each pick who's going to be the best Chevy, Ford, and Toyota.
I like it.
So it sounds like your best finishing Toyota's Hamlin.
Yep.
How about the Chevys and the Fords?
Yeah, Chevy. So actually, top finishing manufacturer is a bet that we talk about a lot on the show. It's a great way to get in on the action and get some different, better numbers, I guess, on the betting side of things. So yeah, it's a market we love to go in. So yeah, Denny Hamlin, I do think is going to be that guy. I like taking the longer shots. So Eric Jones, actually have a bet on him. He was the top finishing Toyota at Texas a couple of weeks ago. So we know he can get it done. And at long shot odds, it's great. In the Ford market, Ford's always the toughest one because there's a lot of good Fords, but not really any great standout Fords on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
So I'm trying to even remember if I can't think of any Fords I was too big on this week, but I know Todd Gilliland, Zane Smith, those are always some like longer shot guys that I like to check out. Ryan Preece has definitely been hot here lately, so he might be the top Ford this week.
Yeah, he's actually, I think that's who I ended up picking in the front stretch fantasy contest was Ryan Preece. He's going to break through here one of these days, but going back to Eric Jones, man, he's one of those guys that you can always kind of count on. If you need that one low budget guy in your DFS type of stuff, he's always a good one to kind of sneak in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Legacy Motor Club, we've seen this year between him and his teammate John Hunter Nemechek, they've both really stepped up their performance. Jimmy Johnson took over the team as the full owner this year and made a lot of different hires and changes. And it seems like that's really gone a long ways toward improving their performance. And we've seen them stepped up, but yet from the books aspect and from, the DFS side of things, they haven't adjusted yet. And that's really where our biggest gain is. Just going and picking the outright winner on a week-to-week basis in NASCAR is tough. So where you make your money on betting on it is your top 10 market, your top manufacturer market, head-to-head matchups, and other things. So yeah, but that's definitely a team that we've been really focused in and zeroed in on here lately.
Was there any kind of bets on, maybe it was just some fake AI stuff, but apparently Hamlin is on baby watch and there was a consideration that he was going to be gone today. Was there any kind of wagers that you could put in on whether he was going to be there or if he would complete the whole thing? Who is his backup?
Ryan Truex actually was his backup. So Ryan was there ready to jump in if need be. And they were kind of just playing it by ear. Denny ended up starting the race, and from his comments, basically, if he started the race, he was going to run the whole thing. But that's kind of always a sticky situation when it comes to gambling, because if he doesn't start the race, you have to look with your books. A lot of times they'll just void the bets as no action because he didn't race. But if he does start and then Ryan finishes it, it's going to be scored as Denny Hamlin the whole race. So, that's always one thing that you have to just work around in those situations. But it seemed like he was going to be there for the race. He is there. He was racing at least when we walked into the studio here. So I would imagine, especially being up front, at least early, he'll be in there the whole night. And then hopefully, jump on an airplane, get home, and see the birth of his son in the next day or so.
Oh, that's right. First son for Denny Hamlin.
Yes.
Well, first break for us here. I think we're going to jump off for a quick minute and thank some of our lovely partners. Keep it tuned to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 11 to 12 for all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman. Learn how the game of youth football has grown in and around the capital city with coaches, athletic directors, and league commissioners telling you all about it. It's all things youth football with Tank Perry and Jim Sandman every Saturday from 11 to noon right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention! Acres is cutting interest rates and offering great deals below market value, the largest selection of used inventory in the nation. For a limited time, Acres is offering interest rates as low as 2.9% on our late model John Deere ag equipment. Acres low interest rates, along with our below market prices on select John Deere used planters, tractors, sprayers, and combines, makes it a great time to upgrade your equipment for the 2025 season. Visit acres.com for details. That's AKRS.com.
Restrictions apply. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Yo, this is Ice-T repping Raising Cane's Iced Tea. The only iced tea as fresh as me. brewed fresh throughout the day and perfectly poured over Cane's signature crushed ice. It pairs perfectly with those hand-battered cook-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and buttery Texas toast. That's why Raising Cane's iced tea is the official iced tea of me, iced tea. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Rolland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Green flags flying, and we are back into the finish line. No Bree Marie, just me for today, and Tommy Denton and Cody Zeeb. We're going to dive back in and talk with Tommy here just a little bit. Tommy, I kind of know a little bit of your backstory. Born in Beatrice, lived in Colorado for a little while, and then you came back here, did some racing for a little bit. So run us through a little bit of your kind of racing background, and then we'll kind of try and transform into when you bumped your head and decided that you wanted to become a promoter.
Yeah, I always have been involved in racing or just interested in it. When we were in Colorado, I went to the Inglewood Speedway there in Inglewood, which is now gone. And we also went to the Colorado National Speedway, which at that time was a half-mile dirt. Now it's a 3/8 mile paved track. So graduated from high school in 1980, moved back to Beatrice, got right into racing, had a lot of friends here that were already into racing. So started in on pit crews mainly and stuff, and was on like Neil Matan and Tim Vandegrift, Kevin Schneider, all championships. So I was on their pit crews at that time. So I think I finally, I even helped Kevin Larkins when he first bought the car from Laverne Allen.
Oh, when he was in the 64?
Yep.
Before the 4X Speedway days?
Yeah, I went up with him. I remember to the day that we went up to Laverne's and pulled the engine out of the car, and him and I took the car home. So, but then he helped me get my first race car. I believe it was in 1984 or 83, and just dabbled around with the street stock class back in Beatrice at that time, and kind of got back out of it and helped a few more cars just on the pit crew side. And 1986, when they started the Bronco classes, when I really got into it, finished second in the points the first year. Then it was time to do baby things. So I got out of the racing for a while, and 1990 ended up with the car that the Women for Racing, the first year they were organized, raffled off a car for, it was $1 a raffle.
Really?
Ticket. So John Knope won the car, or Mike Ottersberg's dad won the car, but John ended up with it. I bought it from him. And then I raced that for a year and got back out of it until 1994. And then they had the factory stock class at Beatrice. And that's when I first got to go to Eagle, because we were kind of running with the Flyers then. But then they started that FAM sedan class at Eagle, and I run against your uncle in that class, and won the championship in 1996. So that's my only championship. Set out for a couple more years, had to do it a little bit more time. So in 2001, 2002, I raced, and that was it. And then it was time. I met up with Wayne Dake. He goes, "Come up, take my place." He was going over to Junction Motor Speedway to do the announcing.
Oh yeah, because Wayne was always kind of the voice that I heard when I was growing up. And you were talking about Neil Matan. There are two stock cars that always stand out in my mind from my youth at Beatrice Speedway, and it's Neil Matan in the Kellogg's looking car. For you younger kids, it's like the throwback that Kyle Larson did last year.
and Delmer Wells in the Got Milk #1.
And I got to drive that car.
Really?
Twice. I got to drive that car twice. First time, I got black flagged. I didn't get the fuel cap on tight enough, so I was leaking fuel. I got black flagged.
Way to go.
So he let me drive it again, and I ended up finishing third that night to Roy Armstrong and Jeff Watts.
He won the feature the night of the Howlem tornado, and I stood in victory lane for the picture with him, and I never did get that picture. But if it's out there somewhere, Nick Vertiska, you let me know.
Delmer was at the races Friday night. He made his one usually once a year appearance, and he was there.
Well, maybe now that we talked about him a little bit, he'll pop around a little bit more
Hopefully
often.
he'll show up some more.
You mentioned Women for Racing giving away a car, and I can remember them doing something similar with cruisers and with compacts when compacts first started. I don't think it was you win the car, but it was an opportunity to drive it.
The cruiser was actually Matt Barnard and Kevin Ream. They built the car and they invited people to drive it. And the money that was won always went to a charity.
Excellent.
So
I
was lucky enough to get to drive it twice. Me and Brian Langdale got to do it. The first time we had a bad oil leak. We couldn't see, so we had to pull off the track when tearaways weren't enough.
It never stopped me.
But the second time they asked us to race it, we lost the feature by about a bumper. We led the whole thing, and right at the end, another car passed us right at the finish line.
And that was just a big 4-door boat. That wasn't the limousine, right?
No,
How did
was
the limousine come about?
The limousine was Kevin Van Lanningham and Brian Schmidt. They built that car, and actually that car, when it got sideways going through the corners, you weren't passing it. It's too long.
Yeah.
But I got lucky enough. They still had the Deschler was running, and I was announcing over there, and there was a back seat in that car in the very back. Guess who got to ride in the back seat of that car? You're facing backwards. I got to ride, and they give me the microphone. And when I was close enough to the grandstand, it actually worked, and I could announce from the inside of the car.
So Dan hasn't had a chance to make a lap in anything. So I informed Racine of Eagle Raceway of that a couple of weeks ago. And, well, he was supposed to do it last Saturday, but we had to take the hurry up approach because we thought that Mother Nature was going to jump on us then too. So Dan is going to be in the 2-seater come hell or high water, and we're going to try it out with the microphone as well.
That will be interesting. I hope the driver gets him close to the wall.
Yeah, that's well, when I did it, that was when I had wrapped up, trying to race myself. So I was never any good, but I kind of had the sensation of what it's like to go out and turn a lap. And my first thought when he hit the gas was to grab my phone and start videoing. And Dan Battaglia just goes, for those of you watching at home, banging on the steering wheel saying, "We got to have both hands on the wheel." And I'm like, well, this is no fun. I never even raced with two hands on the wheel. I kind of took the Stacy Wilhelm approach and kept it on the shifter in case it jumped out of gear.
Yep, that's Stacy. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, the
always
old
drove
3W.
one-handed. Yep, one-handed, just always.
Even his wife, Jennifer Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Cody, you got a wife named Jennifer, but let's
do.
talk about some of your favorite cars growing up, since we're kind of taking a stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, that's a great segue. Way to throw it over to me. That's
Absolutely.
very professional.
I do what I can.
Yes, you do. Yeah, we were late models was definitely what we chased the most when I was a kid. So that's kind of why the tracks that we went to was where the late models were going, and that's that was what we went to. But I'm just a fan of anything and everything racing, and I always have been. So whatever classes are running, whatever it is, I'll go watch it. The go-karts, love to get out and watch them race when they're out at Mini E and stuff like that. IndyCar, F1, whatever type, any type of racing, I'll watch anything race. We got some marbles we can roll down the street. I'll watch them race, and if we can bet on them, even better.
Jeff Reed always used to tell me, you line up two dogs and I'll see which one gets to the bowl of food faster.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's just the way that it's, it's always been for me too. I'll tune in and watch V8 supercars. If I wake up too early in the morning, I'll try and go back to bed by watching F1. Speaking of F1 and kind of the kind of the cross promotion that you guys do with the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. I've seen you on IndyCar podcasts, F1 podcast. You are everybody's favorite guest host.
Well, I try to get around as much as possible, but yeah, that's the thing is I just love talking about any type of racing. I love any opportunity to talk about it and just to kind of continue to grow the betting on racing because it really is becoming a bigger thing. Betting is getting legal in more states. Here in Nebraska, we can't just jump on DraftKings on our phone and bet, but you can go to the casino now. You can place your bets there on the sports book. So we're a little slow, but we're getting there. Things are getting better. And in a lot of states, and actually we have listeners all around the world that will check in and are able to bet on it. But betting on racing is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. And, we saw, I think it was the MGM sponsored the Xfinity Series race last week or a couple of weeks ago. And we've seen, Bubba Wallace had DraftKings car a couple of times. We've seen the MGM cars as well. So
Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Kyle Busch has run the MGM car here lately. So we've seen it kind of continue to be a bigger and bigger thing.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys get just a ton of viewership. Like I was flabbergasted when I first started tuning in and just going over to the YouTube stream and seeing how many, by the way, if you want to, you can definitely check out the Finish Line on our YouTube channel, yes. Allo Channel 961. We are available on video and everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a ton. So we're a podcast technically, and you can listen to all of our episodes on a podcast, but we live stream every episode over on YouTube. We have a great following that loves to jump in live, which is great because then they can interact as we're talking about stuff, right? And we give out a pick or we pick a driver and they will criticize it or they'll be like, oh yeah, I love this angle, or they can get questions in. Hey, what do you think about this guy? What do you I'm seeing this bet, because everywhere is different. And that's still something that we're trying to, I guess, work through, but different states have different options as far as books go. And they have different options as far as bets go. And so we try to put a variety of things out there so that whatever you have, wherever you're listening, you can get in on the action as well. But yeah, we have a lot of great listeners. We have a Discord channel. I know some of the guys over there are watching right now on this show. They just love taking in all things racing. So shout out to the guys on the Discord. And that's a great place to interact throughout the week. It's just a group of people in there talking about racing and setting up bets as we get to the race. And then during the race, everybody's given, this is what I'm seeing from this guy, or watching different people on the track, on the leaderboard, lap times, radios, all sorts of things, trying to find what the right live bet is and who to get on during the race. And we're all sweating our bets out together, which is, we all know what we have and what everybody's sweating. And it's like, oh, this guy's, during the break, I was looking, Eric Jones is in the top 10. We were just talking about him a little bit ago. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, we got a chance with this one, right? It's looking good. So yeah, the NASCAR gambling community is a great place.
It kind of sounds like it's just like the racing community,
It
everybody
is, yep.
It's just what we talk about. It is being a single guy in the dating world. It is incredibly difficult to try and, make racing make sense to people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those deals like, yeah, you can sit there and watch it on TV and you can catch the interesting points, but I can't tell you how many girls that I've dated that still go to the racetrack now because I took them there.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And that's what, it is the racing community coming together over this. And we have, people that'll check in and they're at their local racetrack, wherever that is, wherever they're at, and they just love any type of racing. The same as we do, right? They love going out to their local tracks. And it seems like every race now we have listeners at each track. There's a few guys that were sharing pictures today that are at Nashville at the race. And when we went to Kansas a couple of weeks ago, I went down there with you. And,
I was amazed how many people came up to you. You're more famous than you think you are.
I don't know about that, but it was great to meet some of the listeners and, be able to see the people that are listening to the show. And I'm still amazed that anybody wants to listen to me talk or watch me talk even more on YouTube, but it's great. And we have a lot of fun with it.
And you have a lot of fun. Your daughter's growing up doing a ton of, you guys are a sports family every day of the week. When are you getting a go-kart?
Yeah. I don't know if mom's going to be good on the go-kart. That could be the biggest hurdle. But yeah, I've tossed it out there. I don't know that she's going to be much into racing. She's big into the sports, but we'll see. I gotta push her a little harder. She loves going to the racetrack. She's always, when's the next time we're going to the racetrack? So we're getting closer, maybe.
All right. I like the sound of that. What was her favorite concession item at Beatrice?
Well, she tried everything they had.
I kind of thought so.
We spent the entire night down at the concession stand, it felt like. Yeah, I don't know. She liked everything. She got a little bit of everything.
All right. I like
You have a
the
great
sound of that.
selection, Tommy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They
I know
definitely do.
James likes the cheese fries and stuff. I know.
Oh, yeah. Yep, those are good.
Cheese fries have been the most consistent part of my life throughout most of my life. Beatrice Speedway, that's what you can catch me with. Cheese fries, and it used to be a Dr. Pepper, but I don't drink near as much pop as I used to.
The gizzards are the big thing, James. They're not as big as they once were because Tyson changed the formula to those gizzards, and they do not taste as good. And everybody's looking for better gizzards right now.
I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled. Gizzards are one of those things that I really like them for about the first 3 or 4. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of over this. So.
Nothing beats dirt track food, though. I mean, you mix in the dirt, the oil, everything going in the air. It makes everything taste better.
And we are super spoiled around here. I mean, obviously, I hang out at Beatrice on Fridays and Eagle on Saturdays. But anywhere you go in the state of Nebraska for racing, they have some absolutely incredible menu options, like US 30 Speedway's getting theirs out. What was it? They just launched a couple different varieties of smash burgers this year over at Off-Road Speedway. Anthony Ainsley's mom taught me about this, but they have somebody there provides barbecue, and they have seriously the best potato salad that I have ever had. And for anybody asking, no, it doesn't have raisins in it. And if your potato salad has raisins in it, I don't want to be your friend. But for all of you tuned in and listening, I want to be your friend, and I want you to stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break here on the finish line. 93.7 The Ticket.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
What do you look for when searching for a plumbing company? Integrity? Positive customer reviews? Are they insured and fully licensed? How about a company that has all 3? Deals Plumbing in Lincoln is your go-to certified plumbing company that can help you fix anything from leaks to clogs, water heaters, and more. Give Deals Plumbing a call today at 402-525-7311, or you can visit Deals Plumbing online at dealsplumbing.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through June 3rd is $1 off per pack on Plum Creek chicken, $1 off all bacon, and 15% off cheese and crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
National Electrical Safety Month is held every May to raise awareness about the importance of staying safe around electricity. Visit les.com/safety for safety tips on power lines, tree trimming, storms, and so much more.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
This is Iced Tea, repping Raising Cane's Iced Tea, the official iced tea of iced tea. Brewed throughout the day and perfectly poured over Cane's signature crush ice makes Cane's Iced Tea the only iced tea as fresh as me. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Rolland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Setting up for the final slider. Final 10 minutes here on the finish line. So we wanted to let you, the race fans, know about what we've got going on upcoming at Beatrice Speedway. And we kind of already covered the Jefferson County Speedway stuff with the Midwest Midget Championship coming up. But what more do we have going on here at Beatrice? I know we got this coming Friday off, but what's to look forward to after that?
Once we get back, we'll race on the 13th and the 20th. 27th is Hall of Fame night, Beatrice Speedway Hall of Fame night. We'll induct, I believe we're inducting 2 this year, and we're having the meeting to decide this week who is going in.
Okay, so you couldn't even name drop because you don't know yet.
No, we don't know yet. I'll know Tuesday night.
And Hall of Fame night, that's usually when you guys bring in GATRA or the MSCS?
Yeah, we have GATRA that night. They always that's a deal for the Hall of Fame. I've started that. It just fits Hall of Fame night.
And they're such a fun group of guys. I mean, you talk about the racing community, and those Gotcha guys, they are a tight-knit group that are seriously just there to have fun.
And they
grilling
really,
hot dogs and drinking beer.
They really like Beatrice. They love coming down there, so I rewarded them. They're going to be there twice this year.
Good deal.
Because they're going to run with the Malvern Bank 360s on September 5th. So, and then we'll have the hobby stocks that night too. Just the 3 classes, not the 305s this year. We're just staying with the 360s. And July 14th is going to be a big one.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Joey Herget Memorial.
Second annual.
Jordan's leasing the track that night, Jordan Grabowski, and 10,000 to win on stock cars, 3,000 to win hobbies. I've heard several numbers on the compacts. You said 2,000. I've heard 3,000. I still don't know. Can you imagine, James, hobbies or compacts running for 3,000 to win?
You know me. I'm more of a through the field purse kind of guy. So as long as it's not Dolly Parton, I'm positive you are going to absolutely pack the place. At 3,000 to win, you almost need to have your own show for them.
That's what I tried to tell Jordan. I said, do you really want to do that on the same night? He goes, yeah, let's just go for it. So, but we're going to run all 5 classes that night with sport mods and modifieds also. So, and then fair night, we did go to Sunday night because they were going to have a concert on Friday night. So we moved the racing to Sunday night, July 27th, and it won't be for track points, but they'll still get their national and regional points that night. And then kids night, first weekend of August, Women for Racing Kids Night.
You guys usually do your kids night pretty big. Women for Racing kind of pulls out all the stops to do their best to give away a couple of bicycles, and there's some Power Wheels stuff. You guys really do kids night extremely well down there. And then after that, we're pretty much winding it down into the final points championship nights. What is that?
August 15th.
Okay, August 15th. I don't know why I thought 2nd. There's something. Oh, I know what's big on August 2nd. I think that's when Dan and Sarah are expecting their baby.
Oh, I was wondering about that.
I think that's the Iowa Cup weekend too, because no, that's the Iowa Cup weekend. Dan will be gone down there. That's the 2nd. The following weekend is when they're expecting Scarlet. Because I was like, well, Dan, we both can't be gone. Literal monster truck just drove by the studio. And then we're going to do Oktoberfest again this year, right?
Yep. 9th, 10th, and 11th of October, I believe. And I think I'm going to change some things up for Oktoberfest and Spring Nationals next year.
Oh, you're going to bring PJ in?
Yeah, right. I don't care. If he wants to come and work, he can work.
I was just thinking PJ's birthday's October 10th, and he'd probably be pretty happy to get down to Beatrice for it.
He hasn't been down there much. So, but I just got some other ideas I want to try.
All right.
So, and I think I've talked to you about some of them. So
I ain't letting any secrets out here. One thing that I did neglect that maybe we should cover in just the last couple minutes. Do we have any comments?
No, there's really nothing here. Nothing yet.
I figured at least some of my haters would have been out. No, we have a pretty good time on Friday nights at Beatrice, on Saturday nights at Eagle. Like I was telling these guys on break, I'm going to quit doing it when I'm not having fun. So in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on having fun.
That's the thing about it. This is racing is so much fun, and all this stuff that goes with the racing. It's such a great time, and it is fun, and that's what we love about it.
Even on nights when I'm not having fun, I'm still having fun. It's that Christopher Bell kind of fun, This is fun. We're having fun.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it's always fun, James. Go to the races. In my position though, some nights gets kind of hectic.
Dude, you probably have the least amount of fun at some
I'll
nights.
tell you what, some nights is really bad.
I mean, obviously, with me being legally blind and a good law-abiding citizen, I'm not a drinking driver, but I do love walking down after the races and having one beer and listening to Tommy get chewed out for something that he really had no involvement with. I've caught in a couple good ear whippings that you've received.
This week was good though, James. There wasn't
everybody
any.
was
It
smiles.
was good. I mean, the track definitely had a lot of character in it. We haven't had a track like that for a long time, but everybody said the racing was good. And I was like you, James, when I saw dust coming up in hot laps, I was not happy. But once the compacts got out there and started cutting those corners up a little bit, and then
Them pizza cutters,
the hobbies got out there and really chewed it up, and it got good.
We need
It was
to
a little
get you one of these race officials or terrorist shirts.
Yeah.
So after the races, you can take off your IMCA shirt and just be like, yeah, I know, guys.
Usually I just put a hoodie on. Well, and the big thing with me is getting stopped, whether it's before or after the races. And, it's not necessarily always getting chewed out, but it's like, hey man, are we good to do this? Can we pit here? I'm like, oh man, I don't know. It just says official on the back of my shirt. I'm just an announcer. And, sometimes just being the smart aleck that I am, I kind of want to, feed into it and maybe give them some information, but we live in the social media era. So if I told somebody something wrong, then the internet's never going to hear the end of it. So you kind of got to play your cards right and be a little bit on the safe side. But yeah, absolutely. Like we've all kind of just agreed to, it's all about the fun. And if you haven't gotten out to a racetrack yet, and maybe you're just cruising down the road and you heard some people talking, you heard the lovely voice of Cody Zeeb, and it just infatuated you into this program. If you haven't made it out to the racetrack yet, if I have an extra free ticket in my pocket and you've never been to a racetrack, let me give you one and just come out. That's actually, we've just got a couple minutes left. We did it this past weekend, the Finish Lines Racing Road Trip. We gave away 4 tickets to Beatrice Friday night and 4 tickets for Eagle Saturday night. Hopefully they went ahead and saved them for next Saturday night. But I would like to get a hold of Bobby over at US 30 Speedway. And on the nights that they run on Sundays, I want to try and give away tickets for a 3-night swing. So hopefully it would go to somebody that hasn't been before, and they can actually make a road trip weekend out of it. Go to Beatrice Friday, Eagle Saturday, and head down to Columbus on Sunday.
I can't stress that enough to people. If you're listening to this and you're not a race fan, just, you're on the sports channel because that's what you listen to. Racing in person, there's nothing like it. Nothing tops it. You get an opportunity to go out to Beatrice, go out to Eagle, or, if you listen online somewhere else, whatever track is close to you and you get an opportunity to go to the races. Nothing beats going to the racetrack.
And racing is something unique to any other sport. If you go to Memorial Stadium, there's going to be Husker fans and a select few fans of the other team. You're probably going to get along with everybody that is around you. You go to a racetrack and you talk about Beatrice had 102 cars on Friday night. Eagle had 146. And maybe you're sitting next to driver A's family, and you like driver C, and you're trash talking driver A. That might not end so great, but it's not a 50-50 split crowd. You've got everybody there coexisting with each other. It doesn't matter what you do Monday through Friday. It doesn't matter what your views might be. When we get together at that racetrack, whether you're a driver, whether you're a fan, we're here to get along. We're here to be your friend. We're going to help you out. We're going to pick you up. Racing is truly a sport that instead of digging people down, we try and pick people up. But I think that's about all the time that we're going to have here for this episode of The Finish Line. Get yourself out to your local racetrack and tune back in next Saturday night to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Have a great work week.